Hey everybody, my name is Sharon Quinn and I'm also known as the original runway diva, and you are watching Model Behavior. Class is officially in session. My guest lecturer today is singer Bess. Welcome to Welcome to Model Behavior, Bess. I'm having a hard time with my opening. I don't really know what that's about. You make me nervous because you're real cute. Yeah. But I'm going to jump right in and I want to tell you what we do here on the show. Okay. I bring in my friends and we teach by example. Now, when I first met you, I observed you on the train singing. And it was such a great experience for me that I began to, you don't know this, I'm going to tell you right now, I began to look for you. Okay. When I would come home, because there are a lot of street performers and subway singers, but I don't always want to be bothered with them. But you have a way of making the ride really, really pleasant. So I guess what I want to ask you to start with is, how did you get your start as a singer?
I mean, I've been singing all my life, but I just decided to take it seriously about a couple of years ago.
Why is that?
The job that I was doing, I was a marketing and promotional guy for record companies. I was in California working with, trying to get a movie deal with a company. And I learned a lot in between those spaces where I couldn't see myself doing it anymore because I felt I was wasting my time trying to make somebody else rich or empowering somebody else's ideas.
So you knew that you had talent even as you were doing this. You were in the industry, but you were not doing the thing that you wanted to do.
To me, getting in the industry that way was a back door for possibly getting out into the front. But I learned so much and saying so much. Again, I had to.
Well, can you elaborate on what kind of things you saw? I mean, you must have seen something that made you sort of step away from it.
I seen. I guess with my personal experience, I've seen a lot of the things that are negative within the industry, how people can get used and abused, and how you see everything that shines doesn't necessarily is gold. You know, it's just a perception that's given to the public. So, and I've dealt with, within the industry, again, it's life. Everything that you may see on the news happens in the back door of it. So I got to see that, and I guess at that time I had no problem with it. It was just, we had a set agenda. But after a while, again, I had some extra, I guess, introvert things that came to me, like knowledge or whatever, epiphany or whatever that came to me, and I decided to use those things that I learned for myself.
Okay, so fast forward to you leave your job to, I would assume, pursue the career you really want for yourself. So, but you're on the subway now. So how did that happen?
Well, I mean, even before I actually decided to do music, I had to do something else just to get pay bills. So after a while, if that was not what I wanted to do, but I was actually very good at, which was selling candy. I was selling candy for a minute on the subways. She's shocked. Yeah, I was selling candy on the subways, but I did it in a comedic way. Okay. And it got me really popular because I didn't come in saying, I'm this older guy. I couldn't say I'm selling for my basketball team. I couldn't say that. So I had a different way of saying it. I had and it was people. I changed people's day.
Which is exactly, this is why I was so excited to have you here, because you have that rare ability with your talent to lift people's moods. Because some Subway singers, not even just the, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime, and you're like, oh, all I want to do is just go home and just be, have a quiet ride home. But you do something different. It's very entertaining. I wind up smiling when I leave, and I want to see more. So I guess what I want to ask you is, just how lucrative is it singing on the subway? Because I see a lot of people doing it.
Everybody's different. It can be very lucrative, but it's just like Wall Street. There's your good days, there's your bad days. So you would just have to kind of know how to finance yourself and how to
manage
set your budget,
money.
and manage your money to do it. But I get it. My money is just as good as anybody out there, without saying any numbers, like with a regular job. And if I want more, I can stay out more because I'm my own boss. I'm my own entrepreneur, basically.
And you like?
My product is me. I'm selling me.
Now, have you had people hear you sing, and that has opened up doors for gigs for you, possibly?
Yeah, I've done that, but it's just, again, with my experience, there's a lot of people who are just on your same level, trying to get to where they're going, and so I more look to not rely on people, even though you do need people. I look to create venues and different things for myself, my own spaces. I just can't wait. I'm not programmed to really wait on somebody to discover me or.
I hear that.
Or anything like that.
And have you sung all over the world? Have you traveled a lot singing?
Not yet, because again, I just started within the past couple of years to really say, hey, this is what I want to do. And it's not even to me anymore about me singing and becoming a big star. It's more about inspiring people to be better, to go after the things that you want. Because, the talent itself is just a tool. Because, music to me inspires. So my music, my actions on the train is there to influence people to go after the things you want. When I sold candy, it's not what I came out to do, but it was a path to the road to where I finally accepted.
Now okay, I'm gonna segue. Tell me about Grind Life Music. What is that and how did it come about?
Grind Life Music, I'm seeing so many people that are like me, out there, talented. So I just decided just to capture it. So it's just basically capturing people's story or why they're in the subway singing, or just capturing somebody who's just great at what they do.
And what are you recording that? Are you just talking? And what do you plan to do with that?
I have a blog, I have a website.
What's that called?
grindlifemusic.com, check it out. www.grindlifemusic.com. And I capture people in their stories. Again, it's not just about my story, because first it did start with my story, but it's just, we're all doing the same thing. We're just in different bodies.
Now, does anyone in your family sing? Where you think your talent comes from?
I guess my parents used to just play a lot of music, and my mom plays music from she's Trinidadian. And so she played jazz, she played everything. So I grew up in that. I came out performing, basically, of her performing. So they tell me stories what I used to do when I was younger. So, for me, what kind of held me back, I just didn't know that I had to turn my talent into a skill, And so I'm doing that on this road right now. I'm just really honing my skills.
And you're doing exactly what you want to do. You're not grinding at a job that you hate anymore.
No, this is
all you do.
This is my 24/7. I create albums and I can sell it at the same time there, so.
And how many albums have you recorded?
I did one EP so far. I have an EP right now, which is the Grind Life Music, that's available on my website, Best Music TV.
Okay.
And I just beginning to start to promote that right now.
And Love Don't Make It Right, that's your new single?
That's my first single.
Ah, okay.
That I've promoted, released last year. And I have a new single called Brooklyn Queen that is out right now.
Brooklyn Queen?
Yeah, I just released it just recently.
And you ain't bring me a copy of that for me to play it, right?
I think
Yeah, no, you didn't. It's okay.
Okay. All right.
And you call yourself a subterranean troubadour?
Troubadour.
Is that what you said?
Oh, I didn't.
Who
You know,
wrote
the
this?
person that wrote that was
Sabrina,
very
where you
creative.
get this from? Okay.
But yeah.
What are your music goals?
I'm actually doing everything that I want to do, which is basically inspire people. I swear, really. And expanding, of course, to be able to live in this crazy world of economics, but it's really just to inspire people to do what makes you happy and just be powerful.
And you feel like that's your calling right now?
Basically, that's it, because we're all here to inspire each other. It's not just my calling, it's everybody's calling.
But did you just wake up and decide that this is what I'm going to inspire people, or is that the walk you've always been walking?
I just accepted my responsibility. I would look at it like that. I just accepted it, because we all walk around inspiring each other every day. Everywhere you walk, you're inspired by something. So I just decided just to really just hone in onto that, and that is the foundation.
You also come up with creative ways to keep your act fresh.
Yeah.
Because you add in people. Sometimes you have a horn player. Have you used a guitar player?
Yeah, I use people that I meet in the subways who just are fresh in the subways. When I see them, I'm like, look, I try to tell them enough information so they didn't have to suffer like the first days that I did when I came out. So I just tell them, I show them how to make money, and sometimes we all just collaborate.
Okay, I need you to go back though. You said you see somebody that's new in the subways and you want to teach them how to avoid what happened to you.
I teach them the ropes.
But what happened to you?
Well, when you first come out and you think that because we all see the subway platform performance, and we see them and we look in the buckets, wow, they making a lot of money. And you don't know how long they stayed out there to make the little bit of money. It looks like a lot, but when you count it, it's something totally different. So it depends, because everybody has their own niche, and you have to basically find your own niche in the subway. So I found mine. So, some of these guys, they come from other states, other countries, and they down there playing, and, they have to live that. They trying to figure out how to basically survive in this New York situation, and they have a little room, and so I wouldn't want that for myself, so I basically remembering myself, so I see them as a reflection of me, so I go out and just.
And how can you spot when somebody's new?
Because they're singing on the platform. And sometimes I listen and I just talk to them, and
So the platform is not the way to go. It's the
for
actual
some people.
Train.
Yes, the actual train. For me and a lot of other people. Because platform, you become like a museum. People look at you and, wow, that's beautiful, and just keep walking. They won't necessarily.
Ah.
But when you in the train, it's a captured audience. So you could kind of control what goes on inside there. So, and, the reason why, like I inspired you, you said, I want to influence you to have a good time, because I see everybody's face. You got to see it from my perspective. It's like, whoa, these people, what are they so angry about? You can see the stress. You can see everybody just in that same vibe. And I come out there like an alchemist just to turn everybody into gold, basically.
Wow, that's an interesting way of putting it. So walk me through your day. A typical day. You get up, you do whatever ritual you do in the morning, and then you grab I saw you had your little speaker.
Yeah.
And what do you do after that?
I go on the train.
How do you decide what train to go on?
Well, I'm a person of habit, unfortunately, so I stay on the same train most of the time, which is the A or the D. I just actually started branching out because I like it better now when I'm with somebody.
Why?
With a sacrifice. Because after a while, doing this for a while, it can become it could just dampen your spirits. It could suck you dry because sometimes you give so much to the people and people don't want to give back. You know what I'm saying? And it has nothing to do even with money. It's more energy. You know, people just, they want to pretend you're not there. They want to put on their headphones.
Some people just don't want to be moved out of that mood they in.
And you know what?
But I don't really understand that. Why would you want to stay in a bad mood?
Because they feel they would have to give. You know, this is how people have I guess there's a little psychology to it because they don't want to enjoy themselves to feel like they have to give something.
But yeah, I noticed that you always say that no one has to give anything. You just want them to smile.
Yeah, give a smile. That's it.
And let me just tell you, the other day I saw him, I tried to give him money. Well, I did give him money. He tried to give it back to me. So he really just wants to uplift you and move you to a different place than you're in. So let him do that. If you should have the gift of catching him on the subway,
but
saying
hey,
it's really
this is
wonderful.
New York, so I do appreciate the
No,
money.
but he'll take your money.
Not taking the money, but
he tried to give it back to me, but
you know.
he will take it. So you know, if you have it to give, please give, because he's really good, and he ain't gonna be singing in the subway for too much longer. Y'all gonna be paying a lot more money to hear him. Trust me, I'm putting that out there.
Yeah.
But so do you tell me? New Yorkers, we can be rough on people.
Of course.
So have you had some?
It's been the best training ground for me.
How
best
so?
Training. Because you find out who you are. You have to develop a big shield against your heart, and you have to understand people, and you just have to learn basically how to engage people, how to entertain, how to come with your voice and be able to open people up.
And how do you take care of your voice? Because you out there in the winter, rain, summer, cold, air-conditioned cars that are not hot, stinky homeless people. How do you deal and keep your voice in good shape?
I guess you have a voice trainer who tells you what not to do.
You have a vocal coach?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, it's common sense. Cold days, you just got to wrap up this, make sure, keep warm, drink the right things. I'm a vegan, so I don't really eat a lot of dairy because dairy is not good for the voice and different things like that.
Mucusy and phlegmy, I know that.
So this is my instrument that, so I got to know what to do and what not to do. The amplifier helps me not to scream over the train, and that is kind of weird, just coming there with an amplifier and microphone, so,
Now, do you sing your own creations, or, because I know you do a lot of cover stuff,
yeah,
which I enjoy, but do you ever throw in your original tunes sometimes?
When I first started, yes, I did. I used to open up with my original song, but I'm looking for that right song. I just don't want to throw anything, there's a...
Well, how do you know it's the right song?
I write and produce my own music, so I'm real judgmental with my own music. So sometimes it's the right vibe song, like it has to be on the level of Rock With You, Michael Jackson. That rock with you no matter what age, that's the type of song. And
you throw in the Latin stuff too?
Yeah.
Because that's how I catch the Spanish people groove into it. I don't know what the hell you're saying, but it sounds good.
And that song is a classic.
Now, I'm sorry. You produce other artists.
Yeah.
Have you produced anybody that I may be familiar with?
The produce endorsed for other artists has opened up this year. I'm dealing with a lady, her name is Jennifer Simone Smith. And she heard some of my tracks. We had a mutual friend, and she just kind of fell in love with my vibe. And she's extremely talented, so that she's really like the first person I said.
You ain't never let me hear none of your tracks. You just met me. They don't know that.
I sent some music. I sent music videos.
I didn't listen to any of it. I just looked to see that you sent the stuff, and then when I go to edit it, then I'm gonna listen to it. But I ain't listening. I'm gonna tell you right now, I didn't.
Yeah, I got music videos and everything.
But I just went in the booth before we started taping to try to find the YouTube video of you singing with the kids on the subway.
Oh, that was a beautiful moment.
Yes, and you're gonna send me that clip.
Okay.
And we're gonna play it, and I'm gonna turn to the camera like this and say, "Let's take a look at Bez's clip." That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna insert it in and watch and see. So, but how do you do? Does that seems to happen a lot, right? When you sing, you catch the right song and you get that 3 o'clock coming from school crowd.
Yeah. You could write song will catch everybody. I like singing classics. It's hard for me to sing today's songs. But
oh Jesus! Yes, you
it's hard.
You don't even have to say anything because I don't really listen to. I don't even listen to the radio anymore because
I don't listen to music anymore.
Let's talk about the state of music today. What do you? Where do you think it is, and where do you think it's going?
I guess every generation has their own piffs and peas with every other generation's music. But this music really is destructive.
How so?
Well, actually, let me say, certain genres can be very destructive, especially hip hop. Let's get into hip hop. Hip hop is very destructive. It's programming the minds of the youth. I guess in my time, you had a rainbow of music. You can be destructive, you could be positive. Now this one is it's capitalism, it's violence, it's self-hate, it's
a lot of things.
It's a lot of
and it's a whole lot of cursing.
And a beat, boom, that has you moving. And you hear the kids say that they don't want to think when they listen to music. So it just, I mean, it could be, I guess every individual has, if they know they have a choice, they can understand that's entertainment. But what about the kids who has nothing else to be inspired by?
And you think that this is life, what you're hearing in these songs.
And what you're seeing on TV and what, so it's like, it's destructive. It's very destructive. So, and that's just the particular path that the industry in. But outside the industry, there's everything. There's so much beauty and color. But the industry is just that. They just allow this one line of music that's out there.
And the music business has largely always been like that. It hasn't changed much it's adapted to technology, but the business itself has never been about cultivating artists.
Well, you had your John Lennons, you had your Bob Marleys, you had artists that they go in between, even Prince or, everybody.
And a singer-songwriter, I don't even think they want that anymore.
So, they want it, but there's no money in selling records anymore. So the record companies are trying to, they're redefining this of how to get money.
And why do you say there's no, is that with the internet?
Because of, the internet, because CDs, like before, people used to sell 10 million records and different things like that. It don't happen anymore. Right now, it seems like they just put up a perception like this person.
Yeah, and it seems to be mostly single-driven. It's not even like selling an album anymore.
And show. So people put out albums so they can charge you in the show. Because now, it's about the show. That's where they make the most money.
On the road.
On the road.
And isn't that because they mostly have crappy record deals? Where you have to go and make your money. Well, yeah, no one's buying music like that anymore because it's so easy to get it for free.
Right. So.
I've heard.
Yeah. I never downloaded anything.
I've heard you can get it for free on the internet.
For free.
I don't do that, but
yeah, me either.
That's what I've heard. But so how does that affect music performers overall? If it's changing to the point where it's so hard to get in, and then you get in, it's really hard to stay in. Because they don't, if you don't get a hit right out the gate, you're going to lose your deal.
Well, yeah, but if you make a little bit of noise, that's still enough for you to eat out there. Because even though you may not be in the big limelight, there's still people that like you. If you have 1,000 people that like you can still make money off of that. If you have some type of a following, you can still.
But then you got to know that you got to know about marketing, and well, that's what you did, though, right?
Yeah.
So you understand that. Everybody doesn't understand how marketing and promotions it works.
Yeah, but and the funny thing now these days, I don't even know what's real anymore when it comes to dealing with the internet, because everything again is perception. So you may see a video with like 10 million hits, but you don't know how many of those out of that 10 million. There's a variety of things. There's people with just a lot of it is not real, I would just say in person.
So you're saying that somebody with 10 million hits is not necessarily 10 million people.
Right. It could be just like there's like ghosts.
Or bots and things
bots
like that
and different
too.
things like that. So again, some companies.
So it looks like so it looks like you're doing more than you're actually.
Yeah. Because the science behind it is that if I see a video, me the consumer see a video with 10 million hits, I want to be part of that. Want to know what's trending. You have to look like you're trending to just basically to get some type of attention. So a lot of companies look at what you're doing on Facebook, what you're doing on Instagram, and different things.
Yeah, so your social media
has to be up to par.
And if it's not, that can make or break
within the industry.
Okay.
And even with people too, because sometimes people are followers in a sense. They want to know, they want to be down or want to understand what's what's trending for them. So
how do you, real quick, because we almost out of time,
okay.
But how do you make your mark and get what it is you're trying to get in this business the way it is today?
Consistency of whatever you're doing. Just keep doing it, and eventually you'll make your way. And plus, just learning, always looking for wisdom, learning how to expand and reaching out to people, networking and different things like that. Like for me, what I'm going to be doing is later this year, doing a production with the trained people. I'm just uniting us all together and let's do a production. Let's start branding, because I hear the stories of the musicians, how they get $85 and $75 for their gigs. So why not own something?
You know what? I wish I could bang you right now because you didn't bring this up early and we out of time. And I just want to talk. That is a great idea. I got to bring you back.
Yeah.
And I like you anyway because you're cute and I like looking at you. Anyway, we're about out of time, guys. I want to thank my guests. Besnkheru for sharing his industry knowledge with us today.
Yeah.
Before I go, as always, I'd like to leave you with a few thoughts. I want you to, 1, remember that you can't change the game until you first learn the game. 2, I want you to always surround yourself with positive people and positive things. Do what you love and love what you do. And lastly, be who you are, but be who you are tastefully. Always have a little class about yourself. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Class is officially dismissed. Bye, y'all.